Perfect timing.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to an episode of Geek Out with Tommy. And sorry about last week, there was no video. I had a small little problem, but it's taken care of now, and I'm going to be back with you guys starting this week and then the next. So, during this week, something amazing happened. Devil May Cry 5 got a new gameplay trailer out. It was 15 minutes of like uncut, raw, crazy cool footage, and there's a lot of things we can speculate. And if you guys don't already know, I'm actually a huge Devil May Cry fan. I played first, I even played the second one. I actually played the second one multiple times. Third one's my favorite. I actually have like the first edition one that first ever came out. The one that was so difficult they had to port an American version over. I played through that one. And then Devil May Cry 4, and then again I repurchased Devil May Cry 4, the special edition for PlayStation 4. This is like a Japanese exclusive. I had to jump through so many hoops just to get this special edition version. But we're not talking about that today. We're talking today about Devil May Cry 5. And yes, there's technically it should be 6 if you think about that new reboot, but that's totally different. I really don't want to talk about that. But let's talk about the things that we can speculate from this trailer, the new gameplay trailer. First of all, the updated graphics are amazing. Nero looks a little weird, but he doesn't look terrible. He looks more human, and I think it's because they're mapping a lot of Johnny Young Bosch's face out. And that's totally cool with me. I really don't mind that. I think actually Nero in the first Devil May Cry 4 game, his face was actually really smooth, and it really was really anime-ish. So I think it's a good idea that they updated the graphics to more realism. And that's what we have to talk about, is the realism, is that actually right now, if you watch the gameplay, when Nero loses his arm, he reloads differently. He kind of tucks it underneath his armpits, and then he kind of chucks out the rounds. And then when he was running with the sword drawn, he's actually holding it and drawing it out, unlike the previous versions where they just tuck it in the back and then just kind of run with it. And I noticed that like the gameplay is much more faster. I think it's because of the frames are updated, and they have something new called like the auto assist, which is basically the game gives you like an easier version so you can pull off like more stylish combos. It's kind of an assistance, but you can turn it off, which is a nice thing. That means like the difficulty of the gameplay is going to come back. And the most thing I'm excited about is the Sons of Sparta are back. Devil May Cry takes a hint from Iron Man 3. You know, Iron Man 3 was probably the worst Iron Man movie out of the trilogy, and Devil May Cry 2 is probably the worst in the franchise. But they didn't throw that away. They took that part of the story that Dante kind of goes to the underworld and he's trapped there, and they kind of come back with it strong with Devil May Cry 5. And that's what I liked about it so much. They use it to their advantage. And the new cool thing is that Nero's abilities are so wicked cool. His arm, like in the Devil May Cry 4, the arm could do simple things. It was just mostly for puzzles, like to traverse across the map. And then the Devil Bringer did things like pulling towards enemies and chain, which I really did enjoy, and that was a lot of cool combat. But I think this time with the new arm, the fact that Nico designed it to be more of like Pandora, it's much more interesting to see this like mix-up style of gameplay. And another thing is like what I'm so excited to see is that Nero's new attitude. Like he's so refreshing. Like in the last Devil May Cry 4, he was just so angry and emo.
What are you talking about?
Nero, what's wrong?
I'm out of here.
But it's not over yet.
All this preaching's putting me to sleep. Business beckons. Hey!
And I'm kind of glad to see him taunting enemies.
Hey, you happen to see a guy around here about this big uses a cane? I was supposed to meet him. Did you snack on him?
Must have every last drop. The underworld as king.
King? You? I don't know. I mean, you're a big guy and all, but you seem more like a knuckle-scrapping fart in the wind than anything else. No offense. Cool trick. Hey, do you do parties?
And I really liked it. I don't know if you guys saw the new gameplay, but when he's fighting Goliath, Goliath actually says a lot of voice lines that are scripted when Nero is beating him. Like,
How about we wrap this?
And the difficulty looks like it's back. Like, these boss fights are hulking, and what I love about the Goliath fight was that it wasn't confined. They actually go through 3 parts of the level. First they're on like a subterranean level, then they kind of go underground again, and then he gets knocked out and he goes back onto the streets again. It's just so interesting to see that these boss fights are no longer trapped inside of a sandbox. And of course, you know, the new song, I really like that Devil Trigger song. It's on Spotify, you guys can check it out. The music video is hilarious too if you guys haven't seen it. It's really cheesy, but it feels like Devil May Cry no matter what it's so Devil May Cry. And what I really liked about it is that the song is super catchy and it goes really well with that new fighting style, and I feel like this is a song that Nero will be listening to when he's beating up the bad guys. And I'm really excited about that. And I'm also really excited about Nero's new partner, Nico.
Took you long enough, dumbass. What happened to the 3rd week rule?
Tell you what, you call me from now on, and I'll hustle on over.
And for you guys who don't really know, is that she's actually the granddaughter of Nell Goldstein, which is actually, it's in the Devil May Cry novel, but we're not sure if it's canon anymore because of Devil May Cry 3, is that she actually helped design Albany and Ivory, and now her granddaughter is now coming in to design Nero's new arms. And the best thing about Devil May Cry 5 is that we get to see Dante back. I am so excited to see Dante back. He looks older, he looks worn out, but you know what, man? My boy is back, and he looks like he's about to kick some demon tail, man. Like, it looks so good. But there are some things that I'm not totally happy about the Devil May Cry 5 trailer so far, and this is like some of the problems that I'm kind of worried about. First of all, some of Nero's voice lines are really weird. The happy birthday, now make a wish line, it's kind of weird.
Happy birthday! Now make a wish!
It doesn't really make any sense. I think it's kind of weird. And the other thing was weird about was kind of the pickup system. Like, I'm not sure it was just only in the demo, they might get rid of it, but you pick up Nero's arm fragments. Like, you carry up to 4 fragments, they're scattered throughout the map. I kind of felt like that took away from the story and from the immersion. Like, just an arm is lying on the floor, why does he need Nico then? It's kind of weird. And now, another thing that's kind of weird for me is that the orbs are actually crystallized in these little blocks. They're not orbs anymore. So when you pick them up, they kind of make this weird noise, like, I don't know, maybe I'm old school and I missed the orbs. But it is supposed to be crystallized demon blood, so maybe it's just something on me. But we'll see. I just kind of hope like they have the same system they had before, where they have the orbs to absorb from farther distance, so you don't have to actually touch it. We can see how it goes from there. And then finally, the worst thing I think from it is that no Devil Trigger! We don't see Nero with a Devil Trigger. You get it, it took forever to get it in Devil May Cry 4, and by the time you're Dante, it's like much further into the missions, and so you don't really get a Devil Trigger for a while. So I'm hoping like this is not the same case. Like, Devil May Cry 3 suffered the same way. You didn't get, I don't think you didn't get the Devil Trigger up until mission, I believe, 7 or 13, I don't remember correctly. But yeah, not having a Devil Trigger, it just kind of bothers me because that's the whole point of the game, is to have a Devil Trigger. But again, we don't really technically know what's going to happen in Nero's case. But these are the things I really kind of want to see. It's, again, a new Devil Trigger. I want to see what Nero's new demon form looks like. Is it going to have that silhouette of himself on the back? New demon arms from Nero, like that's what was really lacking from Devil May Cry 4. He only had his arm, and he had the Red Queen and the Blue Rose. I want to see there's new weapons that he can wield, not only Dante. I want to see Nico doing some Rodan impressions or lines from Bayonetta. Hopefully they can get that transition through. What are you buying? Like from Resident Evil 4, you know, or what are you selling? We don't know. And I definitely want to see Capcom make a DLC for Dante, and it's his time in Underworld. I want to know how he got that motorcycle. I was talking to a friend, and I was saying, like, it'd be so cool if the motorcycle actually, like, twin demon sisters or something, and he slays them, and kind of like the Navan cutscene from 3. I think that'd be really cool to have as a DLC. And finally, what I really want to see is a premium package. Like, let me see that special edition so I get ready till I start saving up for it. I want to be able to buy it already. Like, this Devil May Cry 4 special edition pizza box, it was really nice, but in terms of anything, it's kind of lacking. It just comes with the game, the extra skins, soundtrack, and alternate covers and an art book. What I'm hoping to see more with the Devil May Cry one is hopefully, you know, hopefully see more a figure, or, you know, not extra orbs or demon blood, because it's really useless. What are you guys excited about? I'm going to pass the question on to you guys. What are you guys excited for Devil May Cry? Are you guys a Devil May Cry 5 fan? What do you guys want to see? Let me know in the comments below, and please subscribe and like my video. Thanks everyone, and ciao.